It is no longer news that President Muhammadu Buhari has signed into law the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022. It will be recalled that the President declined assent to the bill when it was sent to him earlier by the National Assembly, citing the provision for compulsory primaries by political parties. The Electoral Act now has provision for direct, indirect, and consensus primaries. Of significant importance in this Electoral Act is the provision for electronic voting and electronic transmission of results, as well as independent candidature, among others. Since the return of democracy in 1999, one of the greatest challenges to our nation's political growth has been the effective electoral processes. In the absence of credible electoral system, money bags and thug owners hijacked the electoral process and forbade the common man to dare to express a position contrary to their own at the ballot. Every election that happened since 1999 exposed loopholes in the Electoral Act that led to subsequent advocacies for reform and amendments. And a couple amendments have been done, but each time the Electoral Act improved by only a bit, while electoral malpractitioners tried hard to outsmart every new blockade that was planted in their way. For a long while, there's been a lot of advocacy for electronic voting and electronic transmission of results. It was argued by activists and lovers of our country that with electronic voting and electronic transmission, it would be difficult for, if not impossible, for electoral malpractitioners and thug owners to hijack ballot boxes and continue to practice massive thumbprinting for their candidates. But this option was not welcomed by all key political players. Some argued that the country was not ready for electronic voting. And when it became clear that electronic voting was going to pass, they moved against electronic transmission of results, arguing that there's not enough network coverage in the country for that to happen. Thankfully, both provisions are now soundly rooted in the Electoral Act 2022. The important point to note in these amendments is not that our democracy will now become perfect, but that they remind us that this democracy is ours, and that it is still here for us to criticize, disagree, and improve on. The National Assembly and President Muhammadu Buhari have flung the door open to the common man and shut it in the face of those whose trade has been to subvert the will of the people. The ball is now in the court of the people of Nigeria, who must recognize that democracy is government of the people, and there will be no democracy if the people stay in hiding. It is time to come out and take up the space that has been provided, to cherish this moment that has put our democracy back on course.